So why has recovery become more protracted? And I don't think there's one answer. I think we have to look at this episode by episode. So in the 1980s, I think there was a massive reorientation of the economy away from manufacturing towards other areas, and that just takes a long time. Despite theories that say if people lose their jobs in manufacturing, other industries will spring up immediately, it doesn't really happen. It takes a long time. Infrastructure, communications, education, training, all these things are generational things. And that's partly why I think in the 1980s it took a long time. The most recent recession, I think, is probably something to do with balance sheets. It's probably something to do with the prolonged adjustment required to deal with the debt overhang, meaning that it's going to take a number of years for that to work its way out, both for private and public balance sheets. In the early period of the 1990s, there was some reduction in house prices and the creation of something called negative equity, where lots of people had more debt on their assets than the assets were actually owned. And that meant that there was a long period before they could move again or move houses or banks could lend to people. And that just led to quite a long period before that worked its way out of the system as well. So I think there's a different answer in every case. But what does worry me is whether globalization means that economic shocks are not distributed. It could be that we all suffer the same shock at the same time. There's no risk sharing. So rather than some of us getting a shock and being able to borrow from the rest of us who's had a positive shock, we all get the negative shock at the same time because the production mechanisms are so correlated throughout the world. And I think somewhere in there, that's part of the reason that we're seeing this prolonged impact at the moment.